Okay, what we've done in the past is to extract from classical theater the main rules you need to apply. Like in a theater, it's not like you've got multiple cameras, but you've got an audience that is on the other side of this camera. Okay. And there are rules like, okay, let's say it's my dog. Okay. Okay. As a reflex, you would tend to do something like that. Okay. Or even like that. Okay. These are things you need to take into account. It's hello. How are you? Thanks. I'm well. These are simple rules. It takes a bit of time to integrate that. And it's not real theater. Typically, second point, do that in slow motion. Okay. And one rule is that you do one thing at a time. This in movie, you're not aware of that, but hello, how are you? It's called dissociation, meaning that, so it's not theater per se, but what I do as an exercise, and these are also videos that I could show you in the way I train my students. I say, okay, take your smartphone and do the difficult part when it's failing, 50 seconds, and the one with the improved solution. And you film that, okay? So I'm using these theater rules is that with no editing, okay, it's not to be on TikTok, huh? You won't get any view, but that my client, it's a working document. My client can see, okay, these are not professional theater actors. We're using props, just without editing, just watching the little video, I can say, yeah, there's a thing here. And okay, let me see the proposed solution in 3D. Okay, the goal is that advice that I can tell you is that do that exercise, develop your own style. My style is based on the very simple rules developed 2,000 years ago by Aristotle in theater. But develop your own way, and at the end, when it works, you can send an MP to your client, and this is sufficient for him to say, okay, I'm happy with that, or try something else. Don't make it complicated. If at least, I'm not a big fan of that, because we're working overnight and so on, but at least it's a good tool for the theater reenactment. What I would do is they take a blueprint, the methodology developed by Shostak, identify a touch point where there's what we call a fail point. Okay. Juliana and Anne, you've done that with me. It's very simple. For instance, you go to the cashier and the person is busy and doesn't listen to you and something. Okay. For X reasons. And then you try to redo the scene, but an improved solution. There's a cue, so there's a help coming, okay, to answer the client. I would say no need to learn about theater, classical theater. Try your own way. Always start with a zooming in on something that doesn't work, that you film, and the client should be able, okay, I understand your point, okay? And then you redo with the improved solution, and the client say, okay, this is not the reality, but I like your exploration, and I want to continue on that. Okay, I won't be able to show, for instance, what Juliana and Ad did last year, but 2 hours on that, and they're able to come up with something usable.
So your tip would be zoom in something where you see a pain point, a fail point, and show how it sucks, and then show the resolution of it. And so that people can see the before and the after, and it can be done quite quickly, record it, share it. People don't even have to be on site for that. And so it's quite easy to do.
It's not like to be able to be like hired by the Shakespeare company at the end. It's really, as Yves said, it has to be tangible for your client. So you can be very minimalistic. You can develop your own style, I would say. But keep in mind that kind of thing, slow motion, the angle you've got, okay, because you've got solely one camera, dissociation, the fact that you've got a child. Normally, my students would do, you have a student playing the child crying all the time, but it's sufficient that the child is crying 2 seconds And then things like that also use props today. For instance, behind me, I've got a screen. I can have a giant photo of the reception of a desk. I can use music just using that. So the props are also important. And you will see, because I'm exaggerating, but we're creating things that are invisible, so difficult to see the hard work. Often with this little video, they're really happy. Okay. I can project another thing, maybe your client, because he's taking a lot of risk investing into that. I can project myself in that new design.
Thanks so much.